Hi, this is Shadi, and yesterday morning we witnessed arguably one of the most epic battles in Judo, at least for our generation. It was Joshiro Maruyama versus Hifumi Abe for who will take a spot in the Tokyo Olympics this summer for the -66 category, and it was heartbreaking to see someone that you've been rooting for years loses, and after such a long battle. So in this video, I'm going to go through a little bit of detailing when it comes to tactics, showing a little bit of footage. Also, talk about some controversies because there are quite a few actually. And also talk about the interview. I'm going to read to you the Maruyama interview, what he said word for word, and I will pin it in the comments below because it really shows a lot about how he thinks, how he views things, and reminds me a lot about Kosei in a way because they both seem like very stoic personalities, and this was just something absolutely incredible to witness both of them on the tactical level. We always knew that Abe is incredibly and physically strong, but it's amazing to see Maruyama keeping him at bay for such a long time. And their kumikata was very much subtle, and also it shows that, like, for example, when you shoot for an attack and you fall on your face and barely have any control, it makes you look like a beginner, and they made each other look like this. So the kumikata was alone a very important battle. There was some not so good things done, and I will show it. But here, for example, it starts incredibly vicious, trying to master both grips. So when I had my talk with Shintaro Higashi, I'm sorry, we talked about this, and he said something that was very much real. He said that Abe will prevent Maruyama from getting both grips because this is how Maruyama will act, and this is how he will attack. If he doesn't have both grips, he can't do anything, or barely can do anything. His Sode relies on 2 grips, his Uchimata relies on 2 grips, his Tomoenage relies on 2 grips as well. So Abe for sure made sure that he will prevent him from getting both grips. So I thought about that afterwards, and I thought that something for him as left-handed would be really good is to shoot for kata guruma, and surely enough he did just that. He actually did it quite a few times actually, because when you are right versus left and extreme stances, it is very good choice to go for kata guruma for if you have just one hand. Here you see one of the you can even do it without grabbing the other sleeve, but obviously grabbing the others with your other hand, the sleeve will make sure to wrap it around your shoulders and really have like a big roll. Kata guruma, he actually did it quite a few times. So I'm trying to space out the footage a little bit because those who uploaded this big match usually block the video worldwide. So I'm trying to show little by little in order to really have my comments. So here I'm showing you what he would have actually done. He could have rolled easily because Abe sprawled, if you just noticed it. So he goes for it once again in the fight. Here you see there was a big kataguruma attempt with one hand, just like Mark Hausinga. So just as I expected, he would go for kataguruma. Both of them looked like absolute beginners because of the strong grips they were having on each other with their attacks. Now let's talk about the controversies because there are quite a few actually. You can easily just watch the footage, revise it for yourself and see it. The first one here is this wrist grab, which is in my opinion absolutely unethical, and he should have been granted a Shido. He grabbed it for quite some time, and here you see like grabbing the skirt. Back in Dusseldorf, he actually got a Shido for it, and his Ippon was actually reversed and even given a Shido. So here he was grabbing the skirt and quite for a long time, as you see here, and yet there was nothing. Now we have the wrist grab and also grabbing the skirt. I don't know why the referee didn't see it. It was just clear as day. Here you can argue that it was after the like after he sprawled, so he just no reason for it to call Shido. here you see the final attack. A lot of people are saying like more wrist grabbing actually. So as you can see, there are quite a few controversies here. We see the end of the fight, the Ouchigari. I would say there was no control, but the referee asked for a reviewing of the tape, and he was given the win. So I don't know if listen, I'm no expert, but the tape was reviewed and he was clearly given because I believe because Maruyama bridged, but when it comes to hand control, there was no much control in my opinion. I don't think it should have been given a score, but then again, like I said, the room was filled with experts and the tape was reviewed. So if anyone can shed more light on this, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't think myself was a score because there was no control, and also they were both at 2 shidos at this point. So if you have given the wrist grab a shido or the skirt grab a shido, it would have been over quite some time ago. So it's, I don't know, it wasn't a fair fight. I don't want to take credit away from Abe because he clearly prepared for this. He kept Maruyama at bay this entire time. All his attacks seems quite weak because he had such firm grip on him and he wouldn't give him the grip that he desired. Same for Maruyama. He really kept him at bay. His sode, his seoinage, all of it seemed incredibly weak when attempting to go against Maruyama, even though he is much stronger than Maruyama. But Maruyama, I'm sure he prepared very well for this physically and also mentally and technically. Now, let's go for the interview and I will read it. And it's a pinned comment. I will pin it as a comment below. So, question number 1. After the incredible fight, knowing it may be very difficult to share your feeling on this, please let us know your thoughts looking back. Maruyama, under such circumstances due to the Rona, and as far as many sports, was very difficult time to progress forward. I've worked diligently all throughout this time, believing in myself, my wife, and my heart is filled with gratitude towards my elder Ono, whom trained with me every day till today. Question 2. I believe there are many things that you shouldered up to this point. Can you look back on this match against Abe over the period of 24 minutes? Maruyama, sighing. It went by so fast, and I just found out right now that it was over 24 minutes, and this resulted in my loss. However, I gave everything I had been preparing for. Question number 3. Indeed, it was an intense fight that many of us almost forgotten to breathe for that time being. Please tell me about what Abe means to you. Maruyama, for me to grow physically and mentally to this extent because of Abe, and I was able to challenge myself more because of him. Question 4. So you mentioned your senior Ono, as well as your wife being great support until this point, along with many others. Please share with us what would you like to tell them. First and upmost is that I want to thank them for raising me, supporting me, and fighting with me. And as we live in a world of competition, as result speaks for itself, which results in my loss, that I've always thought of answering their support with a win. I am truly sorry that I couldn't give back to them with the result. Question 5. Perhaps you haven't spoken with your wife yet. What would you talk with her? Maruyama, I want to tell her that I am really thankful for putting up with my way. Question 6, the last one. It was an incredible 24 minutes. Maruyama, my judo life isn't over yet. I will continue to, without giving up, look forward to grow both physically and mentally to become stronger. So that's the interview. So it really first of all, it really shows how selfless he is. All he thinks about is his mentor, his parents for raising him, and of course his wife. I've talked about, even before I had 2,000 subscribers, I I talked about Maruyama's childhood in a video, and I talked about his father, Kenji Maruyama. So I'll link them, of course, down in the pinned comment so you can check them out as well. It really shows a very stoic mind, in my opinion, a very stoic person and a very humble person. He wasn't talking about, I wanted to go to the Olympics, I wanted to win. He was thinking all this time about them. And here you see, he always signs. When he won the World Championship, whenever he won the Masters, etc., he signed for the kids or the people that asked for his signature. So it really shows this like stoic samurai almost, and really reminds me of, in a way, go back to his interviews back when he was competitive or after his retirement on fighting films. You would see the same thing. He was very humble. He was very thinking about his mother, his late mother, his father, his family, his brother. He lost his brother, etc. He went through so much, and here you see Maruyama going through the same thing. An Olympic dream that did not materialize, and I'm hoping that he can continue with this spirit, because remember back in 2013 he tore his knee and came back and did this. They call him the late bloomer for a reason, and yet here he was having one of the most epic battle of our generation. So I really hope he does come back. He will keep Paris 2024 in his mind, so I hope they space them out 3 years only, not 4. And I really hope he gets the next one. I hope he will still be in shape to do this. I believe he will be around 31 years of age. If he's now 28, I think he will be around 31, so he can still do this. I hope he overcomes this Abe thing, and in my opinion, Abe resorted to Machiavellian ways in order to win. So many violations that went unseen. I don't like I said, I don't want to take credit away from him too, because he clearly worked hard and prepared, but grabbing the skirt, the wrist, and pushing it against Maruyama is just not very good, in my opinion. So I really hope he wins the Tokyo Olympics, because that way I don't want Maruyama's seat to be wasted, if you know what I mean. So if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content for the patrons only. And also, don't forget to check out Josh Simon's shop for historical t-shirts and historical articles. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.